Hey everybody, I'm going to share a story with you. Once upon a time, there was a lady. She had 3 daughters. She was going to go into ministry. She flew to Florida. Things didn't go well. One of the people molested her. She woke up in the middle of the night to a man trying to do things in between her legs while her children were right there. So she gave him a good old knee to the face and quickly moved to a new location. She had moved into this house, right, to study ministry. Instead, she got molested by a married man, and these people were in ministry. So I ran. I did it again. She ran, not me, you guys, and found this apartment complex because something in her soul said, check this apartment complex. And I went there, and I was praying, and she was funny because when we met, she was like, wow, I feel like I know you. And I said I was looking for an apartment right away, but I didn't have a job. I didn't have anything. I did have a family trust, but I was being the apartment wasn't it's just a story. So there was an apartment that was available, but it wasn't available yet. She said, it's not going to be ready for 2 weeks. We're going to give it to you now anyway. We're going to help you. We're going to let you move in right now for free. We'll help you even cover your electric bills and your stuff until you're on your feet. And this lady and her children were so relieved. And what were the chances of that happening? What were the chances? So they moved into the apartment and got to safety. The other people asked, like, why did you move so fast? Why did you leave where you were staying? You said you were going to study ministry. Right. Instead, I got abuse. So she moved out real quick because she wasn't going to be molested or abused or wake up to anybody doing those things to her anymore, because she's had it happen before in her life, right? So she moves into this new place, suffering from depression and trying to get back mentally on her feet, and then gets a phone call. I'm going to skip so much because there's a story of witchcraft in there, of practitioners trying to place curses on her and wishing death and cancer upon her. But while that's going on, the lady gets a call, a text in the middle of the night from someone saying, you need to leave Florida, get out, there's a hurricane, it's going to hit, and it's going to be very bad. And I told a bit about this particular story in another video about my gang stalker, who was someone who was causing me very bad temporary abuse. But then she turned around and seen she was wrong and started doing right, and then came when she seen a big terror that was coming and said, let me help her. And I got the call to move, and I did it. I got the call, a text that said, I'm serious, and she was sending me scripture. She's like, I'm serious, I'm worried for you. So me and my daughters, this lady and her daughters got all their stuff that they could, put it in their car, had a flat tire, had to change the flat tire during the hurricane, and then the hurricane did hit, and it did take out our town. And then it turns out, on top of that, the complex we were living in was really nice because they helped us to get to a safe situation. But the turnover rate was high, and they ended up transferring ownership or management over to a whole different company. And they were taking the rent checks and keeping people's rent. See, me, when I moved in, what I did was I paid in advance. I paid like a year in advance because I had a family inheritance. So I was blessed to have the opportunity to say, let me use this money. I thought I was being responsible, but it kind of wasn't. Because my logic at the time was, I'm going to pay my rent in advance because that's a smart thing to do with my money. because I didn't want to invest anything at that time because I wasn't educated enough in that yet. Even though I worked as a finance counselor for debt and budget, the irony. I mean, this lady. So then she goes, they move. They in the middle of the night, they get 2 suitcases, they move. 2 suitcases each was about what it was. Then once they got there, they had to move from place to place, haven't been able to get back on their feet. Their family are not helpful. They're practitioners of I don't know what the heck. I don't even know. But so this lady and her girls are in dire need of a place because they had nowhere to live, and at one point they had to stay in their car, which is really fucked up. But then someone appears and makes it seem like they're gonna really help you. I'll help you. And so we went with this other person, right? And it turned out that this person had ulterior motives, as most people do. So the lady starts praying and says, how do I get out of this, God? How do I get out of this? What do I do? All I could anchor myself to is truth. Just truth. And the more you think about truth, I think about my younger self. Wow. So in this book, it's about the journey. That's just what I shared right there is like 0.01% of the story, because there's more. But this is getting kind of long-winded. I've been talking for like 7 minutes already. But in this book, what's interesting is it's an ongoing book. I think it's called the Book of Revelations. Yeah, I think I even know a few horsemen. Even death. Kind of like him. I do. He shines and glows. He's so sweet. KP, Killer Priest, from the Wu-Tang podcast. But it's death of false beliefs, death of ego, death of things that are not of your soul house. It's not like death of you, like your soul, your being. No, it means your beliefs that were not benefiting your life, broadening your viewpoints, looking at everything as a universal thing, entity. And he goes by the name of death. So it's funny because sometimes we make assumptions or decisions based on incorrect perception of data. I'm trying to make it universal here in my speech. It's not a speech, but you know what I mean. So it's an ongoing story, an ongoing book. For me, I'm living through my revelations, and I happen to know KP, who's Killer Priest. And I like ministry, right? And I like deliverance ministry. And he likes truth and has a lot of knowledge. So death has helped me to grow into learning more about true self versus outside influences. So even though right now in the book, this lady don't know where she's going to live, she's worried every single day, oh God, what am I going to have to endure to survive today? That's a bad way to wake up. You know, they don't have any, these people, this poor lady, she doesn't have any stability, no home. And has been blessed to have people take them in. Because the truth of the matter is, although in this book they've gone through so many things and it's all truthful, you got to help yourself. You got to want to help yourself. So the book is about deliverance and growth. I like ministry. I like demonology. I know a lot of demonology, demon names, ranks, stuff like that. But it's not because I follow it. It's because I love ministry. And in order to do deliverance ministry, you have to know the Bible. You have to know what demons you're looking at. You have to know what you're casting out. How are you going to break a yoke or a binding if you can't see it, right? Doesn't that make sense? So, people get the perception of certain things wrong sometimes. That's why we're lucky that God is way bigger than us. He's Alpha and the Omega. So we might think something in our small three-dimensional body is one way, but in reality it's going to be a whole different way. Because this is a learning experience. Man, it's a rough one. I do not remember agreeing to this contract before I was born. I don't know. I can't even imagine how that conversation went. Hi, God, how's it going? Good, good. You want to go to Earth? No, no, I really don't. Well, it's your time. It's testing time. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to do it. Well, you got to do it. Oh, fuck. Okay, so let's talk about what you're going to do while you're there. Because when you come back here, you have to have learned some lessons. So what, you want it easy? You want the easy path or you want the hard path? You know, the easy path is fun, but you're not going to learn quite as much stuff on Earth. But if you take the harder path, you're going to go through a lot more, but you will experience a lot of turmoil in that, but you'll still be able to survive and maintain through it. You'll do it. And then you come back here. I'm going to take the harder route. That sounds good, got it. Okay, I'm going to do that one. Okay, so look, I'm going to put you in a group. Within a group that is a real small elite group of people. I'm going to have you born with them. They're Satanists. You know, they kind of fucked up. I mean, God didn't say that. He didn't say they're kind of fucked up. He said it's going to, something like it's going to be a little rough. It's going to be a little rough when you get to Earth. I mean, from the second you get there, like when you leave here, you're going to go through this transition through the uterus. So you're going to use your light body, your rainbow body. You're going to feel all your parts disintegrate and then recombine themselves into their molecular structure that forms your body. You'll see in color because you could see the light codes and gamma rays and everything, you know. But you lose a lot of these things when you come to your earth body, because in this earth world, they don't have those perceptions. They're not as knowledgeable. So you're going to lose that knowledge. You still have it in you, but you're going to lose it. And I'm like, okay, so yeah, I could do that. What, you going to put me in a small elite group on Earth? All right. What's my job? What's my lesson? I don't remember this part. I don't remember none of this. God, what did I say? What was my, what am I doing right now? I have to think right now because I'm starting to have a little bit of an anxiety attack. Right now. I like to help others, and I like to help myself. How do I like to do that? Sharing my testimony and revelations of my life. Because we all have it. We're all called to prophecy. Doesn't mean you're a psychic. It doesn't mean you're a wizard even. It just means you're called to prophesize what you've experienced, what you've witnessed, what you've learned in your life. Yours. Yeah, yours. And then other people could look at that and say, oh my goodness, I see myself in that. But they're doing a little bit better. I want to be where they're at. And then you know, you know what? I'm sorry, you guys. I'm super rambling. I started, the ADD kicked in and the weed. Because I started with talking about one thing and completely, and now I have skipped like what, 3-4 subjects away? This is how my brain works, though, which is messed up because I can't keep thoughts super long. They're all accurate. They're all good. They're all useful. I just can't. I'm working on time management of my mental dome. Focus. That's what I'm working on. God, I thank you for giving me the opportunity to learn how to focus. How do you learn to focus? Well, I don't have it. I don't have a whole lot of the focus. So God says that his strength is made perfect in my weakness. So I'm really weak in the focusing area. So I'm going to say thank you, God. I see my earth lesson here right now in this moment. Part of it includes learning to focus on now. I got to stop reminiscing on the trauma from the past to see how it's going to affect the future. Because I already have that gift of prophecy. I know what's going to happen. But if I am spiritually growing, I got to see my weakness and say, oh, I got to grow there. Shit. Help me. So then God, this is so embarrassing. To post or not to post? That is the question. I look like a fool, I know, but a fool is also the best card in the deck because it could change. Yeah, if you know the tarot. Is that why I came to Earth, God? No, my family was into the crafts before I was born. I'm blessed to have survived living on an oak grove. Fucking grove. Anyway, you guys. It's a rough day today. But we're going to make it. You guys have a good one.